There we go.
Yep. Good morning, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to another broadcast of Continuous Miracle right here on WGLM 1063. Scott here with you this morning. Grateful to be here. What a beautiful day we've got going out there. Boy, it's not February. Just think of that. Got Mike in studio here this morning.
Hey, good morning,
Mike.
folks.
Dangerous Darren with us on the dials.
Yep, good morning.
Always a pleasure to have you, and thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome.
Greatly appreciated. I couldn't run any of this stuff, and I know Mike couldn't.
Although that would be interesting to see.
Well, we can make a day of it.
They didn't have that stuff in the mid-1800s, so I wouldn't know.
It is kind of new and fancy.
It is.
Yeah. Well, quality. That's what we like to see here. Right here at WGLM. And we got a couple of guests on today. I think you're going to enjoy them a great deal. Good friends of both Mike's and myself. We've got Dick and Kelly, couple here, who actually met within the recovery community and became wedded.
Yeah.
And yeah, what a beautiful story, huh? And they're still sober. That's the amazing part. That's a miracle. And they continue to help other people. But we're going to let them tell you a little about that. Mike, in your travels this week, what have you discovered? Anything of value?
I've learned a lot of things, but I wasn't prepared to tell you about them just yet because I wanted to let everybody know about what Dick and Kelly are doing over on the West Shore.
Okay. Well, I was just curious because I'd like to get you a minute in here when we can.
I just ain't got time to tell you everything I did this week.
Well, no, I think the audience does.
Okay,
Have
I've
time.
been
You
in
always have time.
Okay, I've been in and out of jail a bit this week, folks, and I've been rather effective. Grateful they keep letting me out.
It's amazing. We call it a continuous miracle for a reason. Thank you for your service and the things you do here in the recovery community. But yeah, Dick and Kelly with us this morning, and both wonderful people, as you're about to find out. I met Dick 20 years ago in the basement of the Methodist Church over in Sparta, Michigan.
Yes.
And I remember that well. Yeah, that was 20 years ago. Man, has time flown, and that happens, doesn't it?
Yes.
Doesn't it seem to? Or is it
Yes.
just me?
No, it went fast.
Yeah, we can talk to Mike, 1890s.
Yeah, this all went fast.
He's got more experience than all of us.
The past 20 years is just a blink of an eye, folks.
Right?
But there's been a lot going on during that blink in your life.
Yes.
What have you been doing lately, Dick?
Currently, I work for Ottawa County, Ottawa CMH Community Mental Health. I'm a recovery coach there, working with a population, trying to get them sober, keep sober, stay sober, enjoy life, and be happy with life.
Nice.
Well, sounds like a worthwhile project.
Yes.
I'd want to know how a guy got to that point.
Yeah.
Coming from the basement in
Coming
Sparta.
from the basement of the Methodist Church in Sparta, Michigan 20 years ago to that, there's a lot of experience in there, folks. So when you got to the recovery community, I mean, I know your condition, and it's like many of us, our condition when we arrive in the recovery community. And then what happened then?
Back then, I was going to, at that time, AA, wife ordered.
Ooh, that's severe.
Yes, it made life better at home. I would go to
Voluntold.
Voluntold.
Yes.
Thank you, Darren. Yeah.
Like-
Darren's getting the hang of this. He recognizes
He
this
got
stuff.
it ahead of
Yeah,
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me Took me 13 years to finally get sober. I'd get 7, 8 months in there, sometimes 2 months of sobriety, chronic relapser.
And that's not uncommon. That's not
Mhm.
uncommon. But weren't you encouraged the whole time to keep coming back?
Yes, they always welcomed me back. I could see people getting well in those groups. I could see people staying sober in the group, in the different groups I went to, and it was just a struggle for me. The desire to drink outweighed the desire to stay sober.
Ooh, that's a key component, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and anybody who comes into the recovery community until we make a decision that addiction, that physical addiction, psychological addiction will continue to manifest itself, you
Correct.
know, over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for your example, you know, because that's how we learn about this. That has value to a person who's in that situation today.
So-
thank you.
If I was going to say, if you have a loved one that is trying to get sober, hang in there, please. I would suggest Al-Anon too. That's for
Oh,
the
yeah.
non-drinking side of the family or friends.
So
Very,
how'd you get
very
your want
helpful.
to fixed?
I wanted to get into a healthy relationship, and I didn't want to go into a relationship with drug or alcohol issues. So I just was stubborn until a miracle happened.
So liver, lover, or law.
Yeah.
3 L's showed up again.
Yes.
And thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen Dick, like I said, for 20 years. It's been a miracle to watch him. And a continuous miracle.
I'm the lucky one.
This one here, yeah, she is the fortunate one today. Well, we all are actually,
Mhm.
because I know how many people you helped today.
So
And
I
then-
don't think you sounded so fortunate when you got here in '07, did you say?
Well, '07 was my first try, where I had about 45 days clean, and I was sharing before the program. Yeah, wish I could go back to that time and have stayed in the program, but we do tend to do things the hard way, and it came at a heavy cost. It took tragedy for me to wake up. So in '08, I caused a fatal car crash, and my passenger died next to me. And at that point, similar to what you were saying, it was the pain of not changing became greater than the pain of changing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
See how the forms are different, though,
Mhm.
for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's pretty common in the recovery community, actually. And sometimes it takes a tragedy to help us realize that, you know, we're fortunate enough to get through that tragedy.
Yes.
That, yeah, we have a problem here that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
And thank God we get an opportunity to do that within the recovery community and the various institutions that are affecting us. So, because there's help in those institutions as well. I think you discovered, correct?
Yeah. So, so on my first felony, I ended up incarcerated for 10 years, causing a fatal car crash. And it was at that point where I surrendered, and I turned to my higher power, whom I call God, and I began to become of service in prison, chairing meetings there, going to school, becoming a peer support specialist, and helping other inmates in their mental health. Just really just sitting and listening. A lot of what you do as a sponsor.
So your tragedy turned out to be a blessing, in a way, because it helped you become sober and to become of service to other people.
Yeah, I am like an optimist and a silver lining type person, but I always want to acknowledge, the victim
Of course.
and the harms that I caused to the community and to, you know, in that legal process. For me, it was that third L, basically. So, yeah, it just came at a heavy cost.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Mhm.
And that's some of the ramifications of addiction in general.
Yeah.
It comes at a heavy cost.
But
And
also knowing that I couldn't be useful and effective if I didn't forgive myself and just kind of clung to, like, started to visualize in that place, like, how could I help other people? And this is what, I mean, I literally had on my bulletin board, share my story. So just wanting, Kelsey's life not to be in vain. So her life and her death have meaning. Yeah.
they have value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always will have.
Yeah.
Thanks to your continued efforts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the people like you that helped me along the way, and people like family that believed in me and stood by me too.
Sure.
The value you've added to that tragedy, that's the suffering transmuted. You can help someone else
Yes.
to come back from such a thing. That might be the better way to put it.
Yes, and it would be even in the bathroom in the women's prison, just seeing that, seeing someone else just have a glimmer of hope, someone that I shared with. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
To be to share.
When I got to AA, I thought things were hopeless. I really did. I needed to see some kind of a spark like that. If you had to go to a women's bathroom in prison to be able to share that with someone, thank you for your service.
Yes.
Yeah, when we saw Mike when he got here, yep. I agree with his assertion.
Yeah.
That's the way so many of us are broken when we get here.
Yeah.
Right.
The things we've done put us in a position where we think there's no way to recover from that.
And we don't realize how wrong we can be.
Yeah.
That was my discovery.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do something about this?
And how strong, with the help of
Resilient.
others, and God, so just felt like backed up in a corner and just had to like raise my hands and surrender and, become the person that I was intended to be prior to addiction.
Right. Some of the most resilient, strong people I have ever met in my life are people who have gotten well within the recovery community because of their experience, and then they're overcoming that experience with the help of a higher power and maybe a community of people around them. And as they go forward in life, I've just seen some amazing things. And I've experienced a lot of neat stuff along the way, too. And I always give credit to the fact that none of this would be available to me if I was drinking
Yes.
or behaving the way I behaved before I discovered the recovery community,
What I found out about that, it's called building resiliency.
Yes.
And like any other form of exercise, there's some kind of a cost, some kind of effort to put into it. And that's the thing that we can share,
Yeah.
that with some amount of work, we could get better about that stuff, that their life could be. Life doesn't have to be a vale of tears, and that's what I was making it, because I didn't know how to deal with tragedy.
And you don't know.
or trauma.
Yeah.
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 And you don't know when you're going through it that's what you're doing, and being resilient, and
Yeah.
and kind of a little bit back to the value. It was like I began to value my second chance. Like, I survived the car crash. I didn't have a life sentence in prison, and just finding gratitude in those things, and knowing that just to take advantage of my second life in recovery, basically.
2 lives in one?
Yeah.
I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
It's printed someplace. I think in one of the books that we become familiar with, it says that we have opportunity to live 2 lives in one lifetime. One is a person who's in addiction, and one is a person who's a little healthier, not in addiction, and learning to become who I think a higher power intended us to be. you know, a situation at a time, a day at a time, an event at a time. And that's it's quite a road to travel.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's the road less traveled.
I'm grateful that you said that thing about healthier, because that's just a reminder it's a disease.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it's a disease.
And the treatment looks a lot like going to AA, among other things.
Well, it's a good place to start. Yeah.
Yeah, but I learned more about that healing once I started doing like Dick and Kelly, helping others.
Mhm.
Yeah, the more I helped others, the better I got. Odd how that works. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's not so odd, is it, Dick?
No.
My friend Dick has a saying I've heard from time to time. When things are like a coincidence in my life, I go, is that odd? And old Dick will go,
Is that, or is it God?
huh, something to ponder.
Yeah.
I say it's peculiar.
Peculiar. Peculiar the way Darren does that stuff.
It is. Speaking of Darren, thank you, sir. He's flashing his hands at me again the way he does. So we're going to take a little break here. We hope you come on back and join us. And you're enjoying this conversation we're having with Dick and Kelly and sharing their experience, strength, and hope with us today. I want to thank you. So we'll be right back here on WGLM 106.3, Continuous Miracle.
That was the first part.
Cool.
Didn't hurt, did it? You guys
Community
okay?
Focus on WGLM.
You can't pass their commodity.
Stop throwing things.
Calm down, Dick.
For those 60 years and older, there are several around the Montcalm, Ionia area, including Howard City, Greenville, and Ionia. More
So, a little
information
bit like we
at
talked about, that's what got you here.
616-228-1215.
Up-to-date local
What happened
information
when
on
they got here?
WGLM.
Heading straight to Wimbledon, as well as Jannik Sinner has been playing at the moment, he doesn't appear to need much in the way of help. Still, he got some when his third-round opponent, Pedro Martinez, was dealing with a very sore shoulder and often put in serves
What's your
at
thoughts?
so-so speeds.
I don't really have any. I'd let him go a little bit ago.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're not interrupting.
Yeah.
Seventh consecutive Grand Slam.
Yeah, come around more often. She's right.
Still young.
Every once in a while, I stumble into something.
That's how you made it provoke you. What do you think, Mike?
Trying not to.
I dare you.
There you
In Major League Baseball,
Oh, that's some
the
dangerous
Yankees just can't buy a victory right now. They have lost
What happened
for
once
the
you got to
sixth
recovery?
consecutive time. This time to the Mets. This is SRN Sports.
It's a
And that way we're
WGLM Weather Center
putting
update.
out a
Increasing cloud
consistent
cover through the rest of
message.
this morning.
Jen, I
Chance of
always
showers,
keep in
maybe
mind
the
1 minute.
afternoon this afternoon. It'll be breezy. We'll see wind gusts of 25 miles an hour. A high today of 83.
And you can keep it generic.
Cloudy
if you
skies,
like.
some lingering showers overnight tonight, a low
Or
of
whatever you're
62.
comfortable with.
Partly sunny skies for the day on Monday, a
Yeah,
high of
script it.
81.
I'll tell you,
Partly
George,
cloudy
man.
overnight Monday night, a low of 59.
And
Sunshine
that's
for
where the
Tuesday, a
weight
high
and
of
value
85.
comes from.
You ready? Now, more of the music
Every
you
once
love
in a while,
on
you might
WGLM.
say something thought-provoking.
Did
If
you
it gets
know
a
that
response
Central
out of me,
Michigan
it sounds
Recovery
intelligent.
and
Keep
Education
it up.
Network,
Yeah.
30
Fair State
seconds.
University, works in the community to
Yeah,
help
you're doing
veterans,
great. You hear that?
I hear that.
Stop it. You
Glad we get you everywhere. Keep it up.
You're not helping now.
Visit Cameron.org for more information.
This program is supported by the Health Resources and Services
That's
15
enabling, I
seconds.
think.
Oh, no. Not me.
$1,000 with 0% finance
doing
from
great.
government offers and do not necessarily represent the official views of nor an endorsement.
You're gonna have to work on your sincerity.
For the U.S. government. For more information, please visit
No, he's a natural. Let me just say.
Okay. True leadership.
Sometimes it's there, sometimes not so much. Hey, Scott here, back with you on Continuous Miracle on WGLM 106.3. We're glad you're here. And having a little fun here in between the break. And as you can imagine, a lot of the things that we're talking about are in the past now. And we're living different lives as a result of some of the things that are pretty common in the recovery community. And that's Kelly and Dick both want to touch on that a little bit about, things were not so good when they got there. But what happened when you did get there and made that decision? In your case, Dick, it took you 7 years, correct?
Closer to 13.
Or 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
that's
glad
fine.
you're a math major.
Yeah, I know I'm not. So that's why he's here. 13 years of coming around, and continually punching yourself in the face.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I was there. I witnessed it.
Mhm.
Rather humorous, but anyway, you got through all that. And then what happened when you made that decision, sir?
There was a period of transformation where do I really have this? Am I going to relapse again? So there was a lot of doubt in there.
Trepidation.
Fear. Good word. Fear. But I started experiencing some more joy in my life. I wasn't quite so reserved. There was some happiness, a few minutes of peace and tranquility. All things that were not present in my life.
Prior to
getting well, sober. It's just we mentioned earlier 2 lives in 1 lifetime. My sober life is fun, exciting today. Not every moment, but a lot longer extension of time. I care about other people today. I'm not selfish and self-centered like I used to be. I did what I wanted when I wanted.
And how you wanted it.
And how I wanted it. And like Scott said, it would beat me up something terrible when I would go out on a spree, on a run. And I would come limping, crawling back into recovery. And again, they always welcomed me. And it's good to be on the side now where I feel confident. I got support. I can ask for help today, where in the beginning I didn't really want anybody's help. I wasn't ready. And I've seen that over and over for people.
So you made the decision one day to be better, and then it was just like that? You got hit with a magic wand? There was a little something in there.
There was something in there.
Could you?
I had to change my thoughts and attitudes. I had to start doing the work. I knew the words, and I could say the one-liners or little different quotes. That's in the different
But what
books.
were you doing? How were you living?
Back when I was in
No,
addiction.
when you were in the midst of making the change, were you changing your behaviors as well, trying to do things a little differently?
Yep. Started working very closely with a sponsor. Started going to different meetings at different locations. Started listening for the solution, because I was an expert at the problem, and I was an expert at everybody else's problem, but I had always failed to look at myself. What am I doing? Why am I doing that? And then
You had to be a student?
Yes, instead of a teacher or a preacher.
Yeah, the world's got plenty of those. They don't need them in the recovery community.
I needed somebody once in a while to say, do you realize what you just said?
Oh, that part.
I would say things and I would have to get backed up, and that was usually a sponsor by saying, do you realize what you're saying? And I had to give thoughts into what I was saying, what I was doing.
You made some realizations.
Yes, it was not an overnight process.
But look at the results today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of examination.
Yes. Self-reflection, examination.
Let's take a look at this.
And had to stop beating myself up. A lot of guilt, a lot of shame, a lot of hurt, and I had to walk through that. And different disciplines to help me with that. A strong therapist, strong sponsor, being more open in conversations with people.
You actually had to do stuff.
It sounds like it was kind of action oriented.
Oh,
you had to do things. You didn't just just wave your hands. You tried that. I was there.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
I wanted God to tap me on the shoulder and say, you're cured, good and faithful servant.
Right.
And it didn't happen. Looking back, God always did his part. I wasn't doing my part. And I have seen that in life where people have had overnight experience or
Oh yeah, I've seen
stepped
those.
out. Yeah, and that's what I was always looking for. I wasn't looking at what I was doing.
I always root those folks on. Good for you, but it wasn't my experience.
Yeah.
I really had to work at this stuff, and, and continue to be present, available, and aware of it all.
And somebody would ask me, well, how's that working out for
Ooh.
you? Yeah, and when I got honest, it just wasn't working out. There was more of a logical connection with God versus a heartfelt connection. And I needed a heartfelt connection with God.
And that was a turning point.
Yes. Up to that is logic and reasoning.
Which you were in short supply of.
Yeah.
It was evident.
Yes.
Despite my own best thinking.
Kelly, is there a chance that you had some kind of a turning point like that in your life too?
So prayer was another cornerstone, another piece of it, and the self-examination. So pretty much after the shock wore off in prison, I began to focus on going to the parole board, even though it was many, many years out. But that was where I started to think, and they want you to admit the harm you've done.
Sure.
And they want you to talk about how you've changed and how you're going to be safe for society, and this, you won't be on the road driving drunk. So, and I also had my mom who was in AA. She'll celebrate 54 years next month.
I know.
Good
your
start.
Mother. I know your mother. She is a wonderful lady. How long has she been? 54 years.
Yeah.
Next
so-
month.
Bless her soul. Yeah. I know, Mom.
So when the crap hit the fan, I knew what worked. I'd seen it work in her life, and so that is in my pathway. I've learned more about a lot of other. I'd also incorporated, religion, therapy, but AA is my main pathway. And then since I've become a recovery coach, I've opened to a lot more pathways as well.
Sure. There's many ways for folks to achieve sobriety.
Yeah.
And we've all learned that over a course some time here.
Yeah, but it was action, and again, not even really realizing what I was doing. It just taking little baby steps, and in the beginning, it was just a decision to get up and take a shower, and then to just realize that my pain can help someone else, and then to be intentional about writing pen pals that could benefit.
Correspond.
Yeah, and.
Communication.
Carrying a message.
One of Mike's deals there,
Yeah.
communication.
Yes, sir.
Help. I wanted them to help me, but what it turned out is I ministered to them too. So
Funny how that
just
works.
building my support system, becoming an aunt again, even from behind bars, sending that birthday card every year and that Christmas, little made-up craft gift that one of the girls made in prison to my nieces and nephews, and I touched on it before, just being like a chairperson in the AA meetings, being a peer support specialist.
Always trying to do something, right?
Yeah.
You were, and that was building towards.
Yeah, I took medicine. I took my medicine as prescribed. It helped me be more productive, and then that productivity grew into more self-confidence, and that just kept snowballing into I was feeling better about myself, and I became more goal-oriented and wanted to do more and saw a future, and wanted to take advantage of it.
So it's almost, you described coming from complete darkness to some light.
Yeah, and I'll just
while
touch-
being incarcerated.
Yes.
Yeah, despite. that situation in your life, you know.
And then I'll touch on a little bit of meeting Dick.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so just kind of had time to visualize what I wanted in a man, and also was attracted to him because of some of the pain, like grief caused me more increased empathy, which suits me now in the work I do.
Absolutely.
But knowing that he was a widower, and just knowing that there, even if he didn't know it yet, there was like a little connection because of that. So.
Grief is, as I've discovered, it could be really an attribute if you walk through, a path of recovery to overcome that grief.
Work in action.
Yeah, taking the actions,
Yeah.
and then that grief actually, much like your incarceration, once through that, that has value to the person who is new to something, a situation in their own life, to be capable of sharing today in a kind of well-mannered way. And say, and give them, maybe there is some hope here, maybe there is some light at the end of this tunnel. Because I used to tell folks, and it's still true to this day, I guess if I can do it with a little help along the way, imagine you can too.
Yeah, I have another little story about you, Scott.
Oh no.
Give me some ammo.
So, in re-entry, I lived on a dirt road in a rural area, and just began getting a job, and began getting a home group, and began restoring my license, and getting rides to the club, the Alano Club, and Scott comes up to and talking about service work, so I did a little bit of that while incarcerated, but he comes up to me and he's like, we need a GSR for our club.
Right, we always need one of those.
And I was like, Scott, I don't even drive. I can't go to the meetings. He's like, oh, we'll get you a ride. And so every once a month on Saturdays, I would go to various areas in Greater Grand Rapids and take notes and then bring them back to our club. So I just, thank you, because I wouldn't have really.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have really.
You got anything to
seen
say?
That.
Right. You did the work.
I wouldn't have seen that I could have done it, but you're like, oh, we'll help you get a ride, and it all worked out. So.
More voluntold.
Yeah. That's a recovery community. Somebody will give you a ride somewhere if you're doing something. They're trying to be helpful.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. And thank you for your service. And you got to grow from that opportunity, correct?
It's a key piece to get out of yourself.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Mike's learned that.
I have.
It comes out in different ways with him, though.
Lots of sideways with me.
Desserts.
Oh yeah, there you go. I can't peel an orange, but I can peel an apple.
Everybody can do something.
We work with what we got.
So it's phenomenal, the growth that we see in people as they enter into the recovery community and take seriously the recovery and take seriously some of the suggestions and opportunities that are being afforded them, and then pick that rope up and try some different things, and lo and behold, their lives improve immeasurably. And that's that continuous miracle that we like to talk about here on this program, because we get to see it live and in action pretty regular, like.
Yes, sir.
And all various counties in our area here. We've been blessed with a really strong recovery community throughout these Montcalm and Kent and over in Newega.
Yeah, don't forget us.
Because I wouldn't. How could I forget Newega? We're really blessed with the amount of people who are really diligent about the recovery and try to get back and grow this program. Wow, it's been fun to be a part of, and to witness.
Oh yeah, the witness. I love that part.
Yeah, it's just wow. Look what a higher power can do.
Yep. And I got more stories.
Oh,
good.
You tell us anything you want.
So my husband, Scott, is my husband's sponsor. So I was in the recovery community. They suggest being sober a year. For me, it was being in reentry a year before you get into relationships. It's
Well, yeah, it's recommended.
unwritten
Yeah.
rule. Oh yeah. So, anyways, right about my 1 year mark, Dick was like, suggested by his sponsor, don't hinder anyone's spiritual progress.
Yes. Over
It
and
is.
over, leave the women alone.
Yeah, it is the
AA.
one
Yes.
rule in the recovery community is that we try with new people coming in. We can be useful, we can be helpful, but the most important thing we can do is not to hinder their recovery process. Early in recovery, people can be vulnerable,
Yeah.
and I saw we could be still pretty defective.
Yes.
And and that's really not a good combination to try and get into a relationship with. So we encourage people to, get a sponsor,
Yeah.
become healthy themselves before they maybe want to encounter a healthy relationship. I got to be healthy to be in a healthy relationship. So. Yeah.
Well, I like that you give them specific instructions. What'd you say? Leave the women.
Yes.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that
and,
was
and
it.
I,
That
and
was
I
it.
did.
He did, yeah. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Oh.
So he saunters on over, even though I didn't know that. And he's like, "What step are you on?" And I was like,
That's a
like,
famous pickup line.
I was like,
It worked.
"Ah."
It worked.
Step 10, and what'd you say?
I said, well, maybe after you work the 12 steps, maybe we can go for a coffee. And I think you said that sounds good. And I turned and I walked away really fast.
He said,
Good job.
I didn't mean to scare you.
Oh, okay.
And I said, I'm not scared.
Well, little did you know.
Yeah, it still takes work and action.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, man. Darren's been trying to get us to go to break for a while. That's a lovely stuff
Yeah,
to share.
we've been having a little fun again.
I don't get
So.
the signals.
All right, Darren, I guess we'll go to break now. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. Hey, come on back here. Come on back here and join us after the break. We're so grateful you're here.
Oh. I like it. Clear-cut instructions here in the book. Leave the women alone.
Yes.
Yep.
But that was just in the program.
And what?
Just the
This is
women in the
Tim
program.
Oh, okay.
I'm loving the music of my local hometown station.
Oh,
Some
you know.
tickets to the Monster Jam.
He's been telling me about leaving some alone that aren't in the program. His instructions are getting more detailed.
While you're out there running into stuff.
The Lakeview area
Do we
news
let 'em-
features
when you
news,
be
sports, and
75,
sensible
yeah.
news.
Spending time in
Don't
your
hurt
car with
yourself.
the highway.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
You make the call to
Yeah.
TNT Pro Landscape and
He's got all
Irrigation
sorts of
with over 45
good advice.
years of
Oh, yeah.
landscape,
Yeah.
hardscape, and irrigation
You
experience.
always follow
They
what
have
do
the
as you
ability
damn
to
well
make
please.
any
Take a look at
outdoor
Jonesy.
space beautiful.
Oh my God.
He's on Car's
With
desk.
exceptional customer service, you'll be relaxing in your
Yeah, picture of that.
Well, at least he's not in here bitching at us.
That's nice.
Sometimes sits right out there and just lets out the
I
caterwaul.
think I've heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of them guys he asked about technical professional advice that lose the cat.
Yeah.
Aww.
They were pretty clear about it.
Didn't say we had to get rid of Mia. Her snoring seemed to be okay.
All right.
Showers, maybe even a thunderstorm this
So the
afternoon.
last segment,
Typically
like I
breezy,
said, what
we'll
are
see
you
wind
doing
gusts
today?
of 25 miles an hour.
Oh,
High
give
today
them
of
that.
83. Cloudy skies, some lingering showers overnight
course,
tonight, a
what's
low
right,
of
but
62.
we're telling you.
Partly sunny skies for the day on Monday, a high of
1 minute.
51. Partly cloudy overnight Monday night, a low of 59.
And it's
Sunshine for
continuous.
Tuesday, a high of 85.
You ready?
I love that.
The music you love on WGLM.
A recovery ecosystem is an evidence-based approach that creates the environment that individuals and families need by providing all the necessary tools, services, and supports for recovery to occur. Cameron FSU aims to build a sustainable regional recovery ecosystem through
30
collaborative
seconds.
efforts with a focus on 4 populations: veterans, homeless, unhoused, pregnant, and recently incarcerated. Visit Chemron.org for more information.
This program is supported by the Health Resources and Services
15
Administration of the
seconds.
Department of Health and Human Services as part of an award totaling $1,200,000 with 0%
I'll tell you
finance
something
and
about it
non-funded
after we
sources.
get
The
a
contents
chance.
are those of the authors and do not necessarily
Because it
represent
doesn't
the official
impact
views of
over
nor
by
an
the
endorsement
West Shore.
by HRSA, HHS,
what
or
they're
the US
doing
government.
might
For
be
more information,
relevant.
Please visit hrsa.gov.
They may have an organization like that.
Yeah. Good point.
Hey, Scott here back with you on Continuous Miracle, 106.3 WGLM, also Backwoods Radio, 101.9, 1380 AM. And we're up on Facebook and YouTube again this morning. Telephone number here if you got a question for Kelly or Dick or Mike or myself, 616-754-1063. Feel free to call in. We're always accepting those. And don't forget to visit our website, continuousmiracle.net. All the previously recorded shows are up there, like a podcast type setup where you can view any show you'd like at any time. It's good for you. And you can also leave a personal note there, and either Mike or myself will respond. You're getting better at that, right?
I'm getting a lot better, boss.
Yeah, okay, good.
I know I've got something to do.
You got a lot of things to do. So, back to our conversation with Dick and Kelly here this morning. We've learned a little bit about what brought them to the recovery community, a little bit about what they did once they arrived, and then let's talk a little bit about what you're doing today with your recovery. And I know both of them give back extensively, and thank you both for your service. Wonderful examples, actually. Kelly, I know with your, and I might have mentioned too, both Dick and Kelly moved to the Lakeshore. Well, they bought a home out in Grand Haven, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need to get out there one of these days. I haven't made the trip, but I will, I promise. Yeah, so they're out there on the Lakeshore giving back to the recovery community. And Kelly is doing some re-entry, and I'll let you tell me because I don't want to mess that up.
So I just do believe God puts you where you're supposed to be. I started working with, I started as a job coach working with men coming out of prison, and had experienced some professional politics, and went through a very trying period in sobriety of losing my job, and it took 13 months to get back into a people field where I worked at a factory. Had your support, had all these three fellows in the room, major support, and at the time I got a new sponsor on the Lakeshore. And I questioned myself because I'd been through such more pain, such more harder things, and kept the faith than this little job loss where I was growing so much professionally. And I got through, and then it was a good thing I did because it's, so I had interviewed at the jail, and because of my background, wasn't able to go right inside the jail. And the person, my boss who I interviewed with, as soon as this other opportunity came around, he got a hold of me, where most of my work is in the community. So I develop a relationship with people while they're still in the jail, build rapport. We talk to them in the professional area where lawyers talk to them, and then walk alongside them from day one as they re-enter society. And it was a new grant. Got to develop the grant and implement the grant. So
wow.
Yeah, so it's just been a beautiful, beautiful thing where I'm on vacation now, super stoked about having a whole week off, a whole 10 days. But self-care is so important in this field. But I do love my work. It's very rewarding. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for your continued service, and that's one of the things I like to highlight on the show and being part of that continuous miracle. For that to continue, we have to put some effort into it. I mean, there's a saying in AA, God will do for me what I can't do for myself. I follow that. Well, he damn well expects me to do what I can. And And I found that to be true, not only in my own life, but in the lives of others, as I've watched them grow in their service to folks within the recovery community. So thank you for all that you do. Yeah. And Dick, I know you're still out there bumbling around.
Yes.
You got lucky. You intervened just in time with her.
Yes. She's definitely a help in my recovery.
That's evident.
I try to stay embedded in the recovery community for my personal growth. I start off Sunday after church as a recovery group that I run. Monday night there's a organization called 70 times 7 Life Recovery. They're in Holland, and I go to a meeting.
Say that again for us. 70?
70 times 7 Life Recovery. It's in Holland, and they run a men's group, and it's centered around destructive sexual behavior. We want to finish this Christian life strong, so I go and meet with this group, and they have multiple groups, very closed meeting. You got to interview to get in, and then it's Monday. Tuesday night, it's just a group I meet with at a coffee shop. We do a daily check-in. How's things going? What's your high? What's your low in life? And it's just nice to have a community of men to
in recovery.
In recovery, yes. Yes, and we're in different various stages of recovery. Some are trying to get sober, some staying sober, and then throughout the week there's about 4 different clubs, AA clubs that I attend.
And where are those located?
Where are those located? There's the Third Coast, which is in Holland, 139th Street.
Mm-hmm.
And then
No, 36. 36.
All right, the Makatawa Center.
Yeah.
And then the other one I attend is the Presbyterian Church in Holland, and then 39th Street Club in Holland. And I usually, of those 3, I'll try to get to one of them every week, if not 2. And then Grand Haven, that club is Tri-City Club.
Oh, I've been there.
Yep,
yeah.
it's
I'm familiar with that.
They talk a solution there. I like to go to meetings where they talk a solution. I know the problem. I can tell the problem in a humorous fashion if I want.
Oh, Dick's sense of humor is really phenomenal.
But
it really is. You wouldn't suspect it, but it is.
Thank you. I think it's a thank you.
Oh no, it really is. Some stuff is good.
But humor doesn't always help.
Not always.
But we were talking about us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then over here in the Greenville area, there's some stellar meetings. East Nelson Church on Saturdays I try to get to when I'm in the area. And then the Macomb Area Club. Is
Yes.
that what MAC stands for?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I try to attend that when I'm in the area. I'm always attending. Seems like I'm always attending. I enjoy it. I enjoy watching people grow. I enjoy watching people get it. And it's healthy for me. And then I also work in the recovery field as a recovery coach for Ottawa CMH. And I work with people just as they're getting out of a recovery center. Some people go off for a 30, 60, 90-day stay somewhere, and I try to catch them before they get back into life and try to point them to meetings.
Well, that's a critical time for a lot of people, just like Kelly, people coming out of from incarceration, or people coming out of treatment facilities, rehab facilities. People are vulnerable at that time. So
Yes.
thank you both for your service, reaching out to folks who are in a vulnerable state and offering solid suggestions where they can go, where they can find some recovery. And even I know you said you have to walk with them side by side sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I could brag on Dick too. I come from the same lineage of sponsors, from you and your wife, Holly. And so then my sponsor in Cedar Springs was one of Holly's sponsees. And anyways, my whole point is I watch you guys. I for my own self-care, I'm not doing a lot of sponsoring. I'm in school.
Right.
And work with people, see several people every day at work. But just to see, how, call me every day, and then to see the miracles when people do call every day, and then to, I don't listen to his calls or anything, but just to see his structure, discipline of having those calls every day, and, so it's a beautiful thing. And then even other groups he does, like smoking cessation. I mean, there's just so many different elements to health,
Oh, absolutely.
that we can utilize the steps when we quit smoking nicotine. I've given up nicotine recently. It's been like 2.5 months. So.
Great.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, but my home group is in Spring Lake. It was amazing because I walked in there and the women out-doubled the men. They outnumbered the men by almost double at that point in time.
Mike, don't go there.
Leave the women alone. I got it.
But you go to Dick's meeting. You go. You keep doing what you're doing.
You know how things switch up. Right now it's about 50-50. But yeah, my work is amazing where I get to pick them up on their out date. I get to take them to AA meetings. I help them get their primary care appointment. I make these appointments while they're still incarcerated, and then take them right to the appointment, and just all those fearful things like new in recovery where we start addressing our health again, just to have someone right there. Sometimes I'll even take notes for them. And just,
Right. Well, thank you both for your service because, like I said, it's a vulnerable time. There's so many stumbling blocks that, and I don't think what you guys are doing today was available here a while back.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
I mean, people were trying to do what they knew was best, obviously, but that kind of one-on-one help for a person coming out of incarceration or treatment is so critical, or can be so critical.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stumbling blocks, especially if you're encountering legal community or how do I find an AA meeting? How do I find a sponsor? A lot of people have more questions than answers coming out of facilities like that, and they need folks like yourselves who are willing to be of service, be useful and helpful, and offer sound suggestions. Now, whether they do anything with those or not is entirely up to them. But at least it's made available within the recovery community today. And to me, that's a miracle.
Yes. And one other little plug for this is SoBar in Holland. It's like a recovery center where there's meetings all day, and there's like bingo and stuff like that on Friday nights, and
So it's called SoBar.
SoBar, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Where is that located?
Go ahead, because
They're located in Holland. They just moved to Hoover Street, which is over by Menards area, and they're just getting it going again, set up again. Tremendous organization to help the recovering community.
Yeah, sounds like it. How many? They're around the clock.
No.
Okay.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
There used to be a place like that around the clock. Yeah. I don't know if it's even available anymore.
Yeah, there's a grant. We'll see.
Yeah.
Prices.
Yeah, well, sometimes folks work different shifts. I need someplace to go if they want to catch a meeting. So.
Just love people who have a vision,
Yeah.
that,
Step forward, take the action too.
Yeah.
They don't just have a vision. They
Yeah,
put some energy and some work into that.
Sometimes you need partners,
Right.
just to implement it, and that, yes, people do need a, just put like front load services in the beginning to help people get their foundation in recovery and sobriety.
Yeah.
And it's a good place to learn different types of meetings. They have the traditional AA. They have an all recovery meeting. They have smart recovery. They have art therapy recovery.
I've heard of that.
I mean,
I
just
haven't experienced it, but I've heard of it.
People trying to enjoy life, getting back into doing something fun, doing something different, doing something healthy with healthy people.
And all this is designed so that we can reduce the recidivism rate, or some folks call it harm reduction.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can do that, or that's taking place as a result of all the work that's going into us, that is a phenomenal win.
Yeah.
And that means people's lives are getting changed, being changed.
And
They have an opportunity
saving
to be changed.
the system's money too. I mean, if less
Yeah.
people go to jail, less people go to the emergency room.
Well, financially,
Yes.
it's just, it's a whole lot better for a lot of different organizations, taxpayers included. People get well, stay well, and help others, and builds a better community for all of us to live in too.
Yeah.
We're not out there denting things up as much as we used to, right, Mike?
No, sir. Something real quick. You were talking about walking side by side. When I get a chance to interview people on the other end of that journey at White Cloud at the jail, and one of the common threads is that they didn't know what to do with all that stuff when they got out. I'm grateful that you're there helping them.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I want to thank you both for coming on the show today and sharing your experience, strength, and hope with not just us, but with the listening audience. And we hope that's encouraging to you folks, because that's one of the goals. People really do get well in this program and change their lives, and then go on to change the lives of others, be used as instruments. It's fascinating to be a part of, and I'm so grateful we can be today. Mike, I know we got a show coming up next week. Who's going to be on here with us? Do you recall?
It's Heidi Sweets.
Sweats.
Yeah, there you go.
Heidi Sweats
Heidi will
will
be
be
with
on
us.
with us for
Lantern Project.
Yes, sir. So come on back and join us next week on Continuous Miracle. We're so glad you're here. Have a wonderful week.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You okay?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was wonderful.
Good.
That was really good.
Maybe that used to go to the Sparta meeting?
No.
I've heard of the Lantern Project.
Yeah,
Good.
we had
It's
our
like Al-Anon for Guiding Light.
Oh, okay.
It's their
Okay.
Okay.
addressing that part of it.
How we do, Darren?
Good.
All
As always.
right. He's been at this a lot longer than we have. We always got to consult with a professional. Yeah.